Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Kal.
And I'm Ghost.
In this weekly roundup, where we go over major news that happened during the week. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Both feet.
First up, the next-gen Xbox is reportedly set for 2027. They also have a handheld that's coming out later in this year, codenamed Keenan. As far as the Xbox goes, it'll be a premium successor to the Series X, and they expect that console to be more like a PC this time around, and it'll have third-party storefronts like Steam and Epic Game Store, which is very, very interesting. This means that not only will Xbox have, like, when you buy an Xbox console, not only will you have access to Steam's like incredibly large library, but also you will have access to some of PlayStation's exclusives because those are also on Steam.
I mean, that's kind of cool.
That's where we're at in gaming right now, is that when you buy an Xbox, now you have access to all of these platforms.
I mean, good for them, because they were getting crushed in the console wars at this point.
It's true.
So why don't you just open it up to the Steam side and just capitalize on everything then, you know?
Right. This is a really good pivot, and I like the direction they're going. I wonder in the future they're gonna outsource the way the Xbox looks to like other suppliers like Intel, Dell. Maybe they can create their own version of an Xbox with like different specs.
I hope they don't. I hope they just keep doing what they're doing, because I don't need it out there with 72 different versions. Just keep it the way it is.
But if they're going to be like a PC, then it'll be like, well, I don't know, because it'll vary in prices depending on how powerful it is. Like if somebody didn't want the base Xbox, maybe they want a better graphics card, then you can get that from like Dell or Intel. Maybe it'll cost close to like $1,000, depending on how much you want to spend.
That's just ugly. At that point, why don't you just get a regular PC at that point?
That's true too. That is true. I don't know what direction we're heading. It's exciting though, because I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this new Xbox. Moving along, there was a leaked internal video from Sony's. They were showing Horizon's Aloy as an AI-powered character. Director of software engineering. This guy's last name is insane, by the way.
Go ahead, say it.
Sharwin Ragabardajal. Yep, that sounds right.
You said that 10 times fast?
Right,
that's crazy. I want to try that.
He's the director of software engineering, and they were asking Aloy how she was doing, and she replied back to them saying she's all right, just dealing with a sore throat. Then she asked him like how he's been, but the AI is not using the voice of the original voice actress, thank God. It's just speaking with the same voice you get from like the robotic speech to text voice you use. Like it's not using an actual voice. It's basically like talking to Siri.
Okay.
But they
all right.
They were asking her questions like relating to her life within the game. So she was speaking like, yeah, all of her speech was lore accurate. But my thing is this what gamers want?
I don't know.
Like I don't want to be talking to the character while I'm playing.
The only thing I would say, I don't know if I would want the character. The WoW words are tough. I don't know if I'd want the character to talk back to me, but I do think if it was something like, since we've been on the game, like Monster Hunter, right? Like the cat. Like if I could talk to the cat and say, you know, whatever the code name is for it, to like pull aggro, right? And it will go do its thing instead of having to like press a button. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. Just to have a more interactive like space for your like counterparts, because even in Monster Hunter, like you have 3 or 4 characters that are fighting alongside of you. So like something like that, but I don't want to be like running alongside and be like, hey man, what's up, Chloe? How was your day? And then Chloe be like, it was you know, they killed my village. Like, that's just crazy to me. I just don't know if I want that to be that immersed, but that's me. That shit would be crazy because my wife would come home and be like, who the hell you been talking to in here? That's crazy. And then some Cheeto finger people are going to be having relationships with these damn characters.
I was just about to say that, like, we're already in a loneliness epidemic, and this would just add on top of it. But I can see a way of this being used really well in something like Ready or Not, where you don't have to really give orders. Like, you can just talk to them like regular people, tell them to stack up on the door, go ahead and clear, without having to push the command on your actual controller. I think stuff like that would be nice, and I think stuff like this would really work well in VR.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, just adding a more immersive element to it. But yeah, I feel like they're pushing this stuff out like so like, I know it's in like it's very like early stages, but I feel like the stuff is like they're trying to push it so quickly without ironing out like all its issues. Like, can we just take a breath for a second, just focus on getting out quality games first before you start putting this AI slop in it?
Nope. Nope. They say put it in there and we'll figure it out as we go.
I guess.
Yeah, for real, you guess, because you don't know how the hell it's going to go, for sure. You get in there, all of a sudden, it starts talking to you about how you're trash. Have you worked out today? You gaining weight. And it'd be like, well, first off, hang on.
Dashboarding immediately.
Like, put down the fucking Taco Bell. It's the third time this week.
That's when you know they're watching you.
Hell yeah, phone already, as soon as you mention something, it's already picking stuff up out of Amazon. Just imagine my game talking to me all sorts of sideways. Like, yo, you're trash. Start over.
Yeah, especially if you pick that kind of personality. It's going to be debauchery regardless.
Yeah.
No matter how you spin it. Ghost, were you aware of a game called Spectral Divide? It was a free-to-play shooter. That ring a bell to you? Oh, okay, well, they're shutting down.
Oh, well, okay. They just throw it out there because most studios are shutting down now, it seems like. That's fine.
It was a free-to-play shooter originally launched back in 2024, developed by a studio called Mountaintop. The game had around 400,000 players at launch, a peak concurrent count of around 10,000 across all platforms. They said they haven't seen enough active players and incoming revenue to cover the day-to-day costs. They've stretched their capital as far as they can, but at this point they're out of funding for the game. They did try finding a publisher, but no one would bite. And as you know, considering the landscape,
no one to play.
On top of that, you know, the landscape, major developers don't really want to take on projects that they don't really know. Nobody wants to take risk anymore.
It's actually not a free-to-play unless it was homegrown. They don't want nothing to do with that.
Right.
That's somebody else's intellectual property.
Exactly. But it will be taken offline the next 30 days, and any money spent since season 1 will be refunded. I saw some gameplay.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, I did see some gameplay. It was kind of like a Counter-Strike type gameplay, but you were controlling 2 characters at once, and I think you could switch positions between them. It was like a 3v3. But my thing is, the game didn't... I love the art style, and I love like that premise of controlling 2 characters at once, because that's different. But at the same time... yeah. But at the same time, it didn't stand out enough to be its own thing. This looked like something that you could... This is like a game mode that you could have put in Counter-Strike and called it a day. Like, if your game is not different enough to stand alone...
I don't know. I think you and I get into this problem too with some games. Like, when you get on there, and I understand as a gamer you have to let a game breathe a little bit. You know, just getting on there and you play a match, you just don't like it and get off, and you've played for 32 minutes. You don't know anything about the game. But like, if you give it 15, 20 hours and you try to look at it, my problem is when I get on and I go, okay, this game's cool, but I'd rather go play this. I think for me that's a problem, and it's like you get onto something like that and I go, okay, well, I could go play Off the Grid, right, just for, you know, reference of it, and then go, well, if I was playing Off the Grid, I could go play the finals and have more fun and do that. I think that's the killer of games that are free to play, because if you don't, like you said, if it doesn't hit right coming out the box, I mean, you're almost screwed. Right.
I'm immediately going to play something else. Like, if it's free to play, you got about 20 minutes maybe to like grab me. And your game has to be
Well-
really well done, because when you say free to play, I'm automatically coming in with this thought process of, oh, it's not going to be as good as like a game that I had to pay for. Like I feel like I already know it's going to be like aggressive microtransactions.
Oh, well, yeah, you should come in
Yeah.
knowing it's going to do that. An egregious microtransactions too. But even if you want to look at something that I know got a lot of flack, but truthfully the game wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't great, but like X Defiant, like it had some cool charm to it. Like
did.
the kind of faster pace, like it was cool, but it kind of missed the mark a little bit, obviously because they're not around anymore. But
Crazy.
yeah, that's wild. But they tried to go off the nostalgia of like 4 other games. That was just not gonna work. But I don't know, man. When you start to get on there, and I want to go play something else that does what you're doing better, like Ghost of Tsushima is a huge one for that. Like, why would I want to go play Rise of the Ronin or Assassin's Creed when I can load in, and then knowing I could get onto Assassin's Creed, but Ghost of Iote is coming out, and I'm never gonna touch that game ever again.
Right.
Like ever.
Yeah. And like, I don't want to get into that, but I was going to say like Shadows has already been delayed twice just for quality purposes, and I'm like,
well, even like what's that and I forget about it, the big game that was for I forget the country, but it was like Singapore that they just did.
the pirate
game. Yeah, whatever it was, whatever. But it took forever, and it wasn't like well received because the game wasn't great. But then the Yakuza come out with a pirate game, and it's like fantastic,
amazing.
Like they're shooting lasers off the bow. Like, okay,
it's
I think
insane.
I just think when you start to get into something like that, it's just crazy. But that's not what we were talking about. Keep going, sir.
Well, yeah, that was all I had to say about Spectral Divide. Sorry, they're closing down the next 30 days.
Oh, it's spatial divide too. Spatial on the platform. It's divided. You're off.
But it is very hard to stay afloat within the FPS genre. There's just way too many, and if you are not unique enough, you will drown. The finals,
or have an established IP.
right? The finals hit hard from the jump. We might not play
way too hard.
But we might not play now. But I still know that if I get on that game, I'm really gonna have some fun, because the gameplay it's that good. The core is so good. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's the way it's been for a while now. Moving on, there are 2 Zenless. Oh, I hate this damn name.
Oh,
2
yeah, boy.
Zenless Zone Zero voice actors, Amiri Chase, who did Soldier 11, and Nicholas Thurkettle, who did Lycan, were replaced without prior notice, and they only noticed when patch notes went live. Yeah.
Wow, shady move.
Yeah, so the reason they were replaced is that Amiri Chase had refused to work without a SAG interim agreement, which ensures AI protections, and Thurkettle, a non-union actor, was replaced despite being available for work, which just sucks. Neither actor was informed by the developer Hoyoverse or the recording studio Sound Cadence before their replacement.
Tell you what, AI is going to be putting a lot of us out. It
really is, and you know,
I'm sure enough it's going to replace my job for sure. Eventually, oh boy, that is not a good thing.
There will be nothing I don't care what kind of AI you got, it will never replace the skill that comes from an actual good voice actor. I always think about like Castlevania and the guy that voiced Dracula. That man was acting his ass off. Like, you talking about people that can actually bring a character alive. And I feel better knowing that the media I'm watching was also made by other human beings, because then it's art. Once you take that human element out of it, it is no longer art to me. It's just slop. I don't care how good it is.
Slop. Talking about you, Call of Duty, and your auto AI generated skins.
And they're losing players too.
Yeah, they're. Did you hear what happened with them? Are you gonna talk about Call of Duty at all?
I didn't have any of my notes. No, I didn't have it.
I seen something. I saw a YouTuber kind of talk about it in a real quick short. Actually, I think it was on Tim the Tap Man. I think he was talking about it. I don't know how he came across my YouTube algorithm, but they had a release come out that if their next map update, I do not know what the map is called. Something with a V. Don't care to. Yeah. Whatever, that one. If they don't have a significant player resurgence with that, Warzone will not be coming back to Call of Duty.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How you just gonna take? Isn't that one of their major? That's one of their major like game modes that they give them their most money.
They said if they do not have a resurgence in players coming back and consistent player count, they will not be bringing it back. So all you COD players out there, y'all want that to stay there? Better get back on there. Better start buying them $30 skins. You know, they dropped below $2 billion in revenue last year, and they're all pissed.
I ain't lying. Somebody's gonna get cut. Just not the man making $2 billion.
Yeah, no. He got a new car he need to buy.
Right. But getting back to ZZZ, yeah, the voice actors. And Miri Chase said that they were aware of the risk, but hoped Hoyoverse would just keep the characters silent. Yeah, I'm sorry. Those gacha games, they're only... I ain't gonna lie, I got on Zenless Zone Zero, and I actually did like the art style. I thought it was great. It was really high production quality game. Don't get me wrong. But what ruins it is like those gacha elements within it, which is... It's just kind of like a slot machine, basically. And
right.
Like any extra characters you have to pay for. I'm not at the age where I'm into that kind of stuff. And I feel like they should have came away from the gacha mechanics and just made a really high quality game. And I feel like they could just add in the microtransactions later, but that's what they do. That's what they're going to do. That's what's happening with them.
Leave them in.
Okay. It depends. That's Helldivers has really good microtransactions.
It really depends on it.
And they're not that expensive either. Like, they're not going to break your bank. But yeah,
that's true.
It's unfortunate what's happening to voice actors in the industry. Developers would rather just fire you than, try and work with you in any capacity.
Right.
But yeah, I just thought that story sucked. Moving along. Balatro dev has shut down AI art controversy on the subreddit. Balatro developer Local Thunk stepped in to remove a subreddit moderator, Dr. Tankhead, after they stated
What?
After they
the hell are the
stated
names?
That AI-generated art would be allowed in the community. So Dr. Tankhead said, "We're going to do AI-generated art." The Balatro developer said, "No, you're not. You're getting up out of here." The developer made it clear that neither they nor publisher Playstack condone AI art, emphasizing its harm to artists. Absolutely, I can't agree more. Dr. Tankhead was a mod of both the main and not safe for work Balatro subreddits. I'm sorry, how do you have a not safe for work for a card game that's not safe for work? What are y'all posting in there?
I don't know, but it's straight debauchery though.
But anyway, he was allowing AI-generated art if properly tagged. He claimed this decision was discussed with Playstack, the publisher, but Local Thunk denied it. So they ended up removing him and banned AI-generated images from the subreddit. Playstack said...
Just imagine someone logged on there and was like, what in the hell is going on in here?
Right.
What
the fact that a developer decided to remove you is insane to me. Like, man just took the time out of his day to say, yeah, I'm sorry, we're not doing any of this. He's got to go.
Yeah, that's just all the way crazy.
The publisher Playstack said that the previous subreddit rules were vague, possibly leading to confusion, and the mods will update rules to ensure AI-generated content is explicitly banned. Dr. Tankhead said that, confirmed they were removed from the main sub, but remain a mod of the Not Safe for Work Balatro subreddit. He was considering allowing AI art on a limited basis in that community. Some users basically just told that man, it's time to get off of Reddit for a week. Go outside, touch some grass, bro. Because my God, it's not that serious. Just let it go.
Mm-hmm.
Saber Interactive wants to assure you that the Knights of the Old Republic remake is still in development. This project was first announced back in 2021 with developer Aspyr taking control of the project. Thank God Aspyr is no longer in control of this project, considering how badly they botched the Battlefront 2 remake. Ghost, I'm pretty sure you remember seeing videos about that.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't pre-order it, to be honest with you. Like, logged on, was like, maybe I'll buy it. Looked at online stuff. It was like, that's not getting purchased at all. Nope, I'm good.
Game was barely playable. I'm sorry. This is a beloved game from like the classic, like the golden age of like gaming, PlayStation 2 era.
I was pirating them, so it sure was deviancy at that.
To botch a project like that is just hugely irresponsible. But anyway, getting back to the story. After it was announced and developer Aspyr was, thinking about taking control of the project, rumors started circulating about how there were difficulties going on behind the scenes. Plus, a report in 2022 claimed that the remake was in serious trouble and delayed indefinitely. And soon after that report, it was confirmed that Saber Interactive would be taking over development. Saber is also responsible for World War Z and the latest Space Marine 2 that came out, which we played.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the project was called into question again last year when Saber Interactive split from Embracer Group. If you remember, Embracer Group was that, I think as a publisher, they were buying up all these studios during the pandemic, and they got too big for their britches, as the old people say, and their studios weren't bringing in enough money, so they started axing people. And some people joked that because Saints Row, the reboot, failed so hard, that's what caused everything to just start falling apart. Yeah, that was a major flop. But Chief Executive Officer Tim Willett said that the project is still alive and is still in production. He said this after posting on social media, claiming that they're starting up development of Space Marine 3, and he wanted to assure everybody else that the projects that they announced earlier, they're still in development. So if you're still looking forward to Knights of the Old Republic, don't worry, it's coming out. We just don't know when yet. And honestly, I'm interested in playing it myself because that's a gem that I missed back in the day. Even though it's turn-based, I still would love to check it out. Ghost, you're not a big Star Wars fan.
I'm not.
Okay.
It's not that I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm just not into a lot of the newer Star Wars games.
That's fair.
To be honest with you.
Ubisoft is considering launching a partially outside-owned business unit to manage its top game franchises.
What?
And Tencent.
What?
Tencent is being considered for a minority stake in this new entity. These major franchises would be Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry. And this will be owned by the new unit instead of Ubisoft. And also this new unit could also be valued higher than Ubisoft itself, although the Guillemot family will still own the main Ubisoft company. Ubisoft is also undergoing a strategic review after years of declining stock and underperforming game launches, including Star Wars Outlaws, which I played. At the most, that game gets a 7 out of 10 for me. Did nothing special. Ubisoft cannot break away from... Ubisoft can't help being Ubisoft when they make games. It's like that core... I don't know how to explain it. It's like they keep making the same game regardless of the franchise.
Well, because they think that model is just going to sustain them, and it doesn't.
It doesn't. It just gets boring after a while. I don't want to go on a map and clear out question marks. That's not what I'm here to do. They could have
I know, if Tencent can please come out with Rainbow Six Vegas again, please, like a follow-up in that series, Tencent can take that whole company. That's all I need. Seriously, I don't like to see anybody get bought out, but I mean, I'm here for it if y'all do that.
Yeah, because they were. I think last year they were. They were thinking about a buyout because they had lost, I think, more than half of their value last year because they just were not putting out good games.
Well, I mean, the only thing they have out is Rainbow Six Siege, and unless you're a comp player, you don't want to play that. Right. Put something else out.
And
something.
What else do they have?
Can I get another Breakpoint?
Right.
I mean,
a Ghost
Breakpoint's
Recon?
huge on PC, but like, what about all the other players? Like, I'm not an EA, I'm not an esports player.
They have been sleeping on their franchises. Like you said, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. What about Splinter Cell, the one we've been waiting for years?
Can we get a new Splinter Cell game?
How can you let something like that go so long without being made? They're over here trying to revamp Siege again with Siege X. If you don't shut the hell up and give me another Splinter Cell.
Because they make so much money off all that stupid ass esports thing. And good for them. You know, it's something that's kept that game around for a long time. But you're alienating an entire group of like your player base that doesn't want to play that.
And also,
like, I just want to link up, and that's true too. That's the smaller thing in all of this.
I'm not even sure if I want Ubisoft to touch a Splinter Cell at this point because of how badly. And I'm gonna play this Assassin's Creed Shadows when it comes out. Do their subscription, obviously, and then I'm gonna cancel like I always do. But I just expect it to be the same old thing with the same like jank that all Assassin's Creed games have. It's going to be a very bland story with bland characters and just bland combat. Just enough. It's busy work. It's a podcast game where I can go and clear stuff without really focusing on what I'm doing. And unfortunately, that's not the way I like to game anymore.
I don't know.
It's
it
a
ain't
busy
gonna see
work
me
game.
on there, that's for sure.
But yeah, that's what Ubisoft got going on.
Mm.
I really want them to give that Assassin's Creed franchise to somebody who will take it serious and give us something new, something we haven't seen before. Respawn's next Star Wars game will be revealed April 19th at Star Wars Celebration in Tokyo, Japan. It is nothing that we'll be interested in playing, Ghost, so, well, you don't like Star Wars anyway, but I was kind of excited when I saw Star Wars, but then I saw it's just going to be like a strategy game, similar to like XCOM.
I mean, I'll
and
try.
Stuff I'm not into any of that point and click.
It just doesn't do anything for me. You know what I mean?
I'm not stressed.
I'm really
enough.
into like build games now. I want to be able to feel the power fantasy, and that's the games I want to play right now.
Yeah, Mr. 300 hours in Path of Exile. We know. The game is
and 1400 in Division.
The game is also being made by a studio called Bit Reactor. These formed by veterans from XCOM and Civilization Studio, Firaxis Games. There was a FPS Star Wars game that was announced in 2022, held by LucasArts veteran and Medal of Honor co-creator Peter Hirschman, who also worked on the original Battlefront games and The Force Unleashed, but that got canceled. EA wanted Respawn to really focus on the Jedi and Apex at the time, because that's what was making money. It makes sense. I'm not even going to hold it to them, but I would love to see another Titanfall. For the love of God, you cannot tell me the numbers are not pointing towards another Titanfall.
Everything points to a new Titanfall except for them doing the new Titanfall.
You can't tell me
so
that what are we doing?
They just need to do it. Slacking, bullshitting.
Just imagine we get a great Battlefield in March, and then late November we get a Titanfall 3. That's all I'd
cry.
Say.
My wallet would cry, because that's a lot of spending I'm probably going to be doing.
Immediate buy. People are getting tired of Apex at this point. You're losing numbers as far as like live service games. Bro, it's time to bring out time to put your dick on the table. It's time to get serious. Titanfall 3. Let's go.
Good luck.
Yeah. Respawn has a new Star Wars game. Look forward to it on April 19th. If you're interested in those types of games. Analysts have predicted the Nintendo Switch will cost, what do you think, Ghost?
A lot. $400?
Correct.
Yeah, like that. Look at that. Freaking amazing at this.
Could cost more, though, due to U.S. tariffs. I love that for us.
It's going to be a lot.
Multiple market observers believe that it'll cost at least $100 more than the original Switch, which was $300 at launch. Toyo Securities analysts predict it'll be more than $400 due to the NVIDIA chip inside the original Switch, which was estimated to cost $80 per unit. Switch 2 will likely be between $130 to $150, so they are estimating a $500 handheld. Regardless of that, they're also predicting that this could be the biggest launch in the history of video games as far as consoles, which I don't blame them because, I don't know why I don't know why in my head I keep thinking that Nintendo is like this really not as popular as they are. Because my head, I'm
They
like,
are
people
massively,
really, yeah, they are massively
yes,
popular. And I don't know
super
why I
popular,
keep
die
thinking
hard.
that. Because every time like I'm on TikTok or anything, people are like buying Pokemon cards still. They're like storming into Costco.
Did you see
to
what
get
happened? Yeah, I was gonna say, did you see what happened? Costco, I think over, I don't want to call it, we'll just say one of the Asian countries because I have no idea. But they were literally lined up for a pallet, and they opened up, and they were just snatching them off.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Like they literally.
Now,
had
the one
to
thing I
limit this
will
too.
say, yeah, that's wild. I would say this is that Nintendo is very much more geared towards kid-friendly games. So that's probably why we don't ever. Well, I mean, for now, until little man gets a little bit older, but you know, we're not really geared towards a lot of that. And as much as we talk about the nostalgia of like Super Smash Brothers, we're not getting Hunter to play Super Smash Brothers for hours on it. Like that's not going to be a thing,
right.
But you know, and sorry, as much as I am nostalgic for Mario, I'm really not playing Mario for 4 or 5 hours. Like that's just not something I'm into. As much as I love the game, I'm not doing that.
Right. But I can see, you know, kids will have a lot more fun with that because they have their friends over, sleepovers, birthdays.
I mean, I used to. Oh yeah, I used to.
Oh yeah.
We were ruining friendships with Super Smash Brothers. I was Falcon punching people square off platforms.
It's crazy that game was never supposed to go that serious. Like it was just supposed to be a party game, and now that the game is like in tournaments.
Yep. Like, you know, right now you're gonna be Kirby, gonna start whoop 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 coming back over. I'm thumping you again. Telling you.
But yeah, biggest launch in history of video games. Also, don't forget the Nintendo Direct will be coming April 2nd, where they'll have a release date and a price point, along with some initial games that'll be coming out once the Nintendo launches. It'll be interesting to see the comments under that video when it does. Moving along, the Roblox CEO has a message to all parents who are worried about their kids on the platform. He says, don't let them play it. And I agree. I don't either. There's two things here. It's like the same thing people complain about, complain to Eminem about his music. Don't let your kids listen to it. It's not meant for kids. But
there's a parental thing on there.
Yeah, there are parental things on here, and parents complain, but they don't even put in the work themselves to try and to put these parental bumpers over stuff. Like a lot of parents, if they don't understand something, they just don't even bother trying, which is shit parenting, honestly. But last year, there were reports claiming that Roblox wasn't doing enough to protect young adults on the platform, which made Roblox implement stricter rules for users under 13, plus more expansive parental controls. As far as stricter rules, they didn't allow kids to use the in-game chat features, which is big because that's where a lot of the abuse happens.
That's where all of it happens.
They, as far as parental controls, they do allow parents to see their children's screen time plus their kids' friends list. Also, parents can also set daily screen time limits. As parents really need to be vigilant when it comes to games like this, because predators will also find their way here. There are grown men who know how to prey, well, not just grown men, but grown women that will prey on young children, and take advantage of them. And before you know it, little Johnny's gone. He's not in his room like he's supposed to, or he's using your credit card to send them money. Either way, it's not looking good.
That's definitely what's gonna happen.
But yeah, it's just parents just need to be vigilant. There's only so much a company can do, and there's just stuff constantly happening online all the time. But yeah, pay attention to your children.
Or somebody's going to
check their phones, please. And my last story, I hadn't taken any notes for it, but I saw it at last minute. But Bethesda was doing a remake for Oblivion. It was supposed to be on Unreal Engine 5, and they're saying that it could be releasing sooner than you think. Reading this article, the Oblivion remake was first mentioned back in 2023 for being named an Elite Court document in the same year. Now, apparently, according to...
I never even played it, but I hope it comes out. I guess something else to play or talk about.
right when. Oh, did you ever play Skyrim?
Sir, we both know the answer to that question.
Okay, well,
That's a
Oblivion
zombie
came.
game.
Oblivion came. For those of you who know, Zombie is an actual person in our group. Her name is Zombie. In case you were confused. But Oblivion was the one that was made before Skyrim. But apparently, according to a insider, Nate the Hate, the remake is set for reveal in the coming weeks. And VGC has corroborated with their own sources, so apparently it's coming pretty soon, which is nice considering we haven't gotten a good RPG from Bethesda in a long time. I'm pretty sure I've lamented plenty of times in these videos about how much I looked forward to Starfield and how much I was disappointed.
Everybody was.
The remake is developed by Virtuos. I think that's her name. Virtuos was one of the largest game makers in the world. Did not know that. They were established in 2004.
Did not know that either.
It focuses on supporting the development of major AAA games or bringing existing titles to new platforms. The company has also worked on franchises like Call of Duty, Tomb Raider, Dark Souls, BioShock, Battlefield, Uncharted, and Horizon. And they're currently supporting Konami's development of the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. So, looks like they got their hand in a lot of things. Good God, I didn't know they were that big. Jesus.
That is a lot.
How many damn developers do y'all have?
I don't know, man, because the other developers are getting cut. I don't know. Just give me a good Metal Gear. Sorry.
The remake is reportedly fully remade with Unreal Engine 5, with 6 reworked gameplay systems: stamina, sneaking, blocking, archery, hit reaction, and HUD. And improvements in the game's blocking system has reportedly been inspired by Souls-like games, while sneak icons are now highlighted in the new system, according to MP First. MP First is a blog. I did not know that. Good to know. So yeah, I love seeing old games come back and remade with up-to-date engines. I don't want remasters. I want remakes. Give me a Prince of Persia remake. Give me a Black
You're going to get remasters, what you're going to get. Boy, can we please get a Black remake?
You know, Black was actually made by Criterion, who also made Burnout, and
you know that they just need to make a remake. Can we please get a remake of Burnout with Unreal Engine 5? That would be fantastic. Just speaking for me, I think that would be amazing. I don't want another Need for Speed. I'm done with them. They suck. They sucked. I'm sorry. They suck. They don't have in-game. They don't have support for in-game. Just give me another racing game. Sorry. It's the truth.
This is true. I've been disappointed for way too long.
Your expansion in this last one was putting bears on the map. If you don't figure something out, yes, if you swear, get me off of here. Get me off. I'm done before I go off on a tangent. I can't stand that game.
Well, that was our last story anyway, so.
Oh, okay. Jeez, I felt my blood pressure go up.
I don't know how they keep making every Need for Speed that they have made. It has always been on the precipice of being great, but they never take that extra step. It's like every single one has been like,
do you know what they're like?
Edging me.
Do you know what they're like? They're Fast and the Furious as a game.
Oh God, yeah, that's definitely
the first 1, 2, 3 games. F word amazing, just everything.
Fantastic,
great.
The
Need for Speed has literally been riding the coattails of Underground 1 and 2 and Carbon for generations. You guys at this point, you guys suck. It sucks. I'm sorry. It sucks. You just don't do anything to innovate. You don't support your game. I don't know, man. It sucks. I want a good Need for Speed so bad, but to go, okay, this last Need for Speed Heat or whatever it was, you gave 2 cars that I had to buy. Okay, that's fine. But 2 cars, and you just openly said, we're done. Then the next game, you waited so long to support it, you lost all of your player base. And then, bro, I could not change my character for 7 months on that game.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was glitched.
Are you serious? And then every pack you come out with is $10 and it's 2 cars. What are we doing here? And then your car models were already broken. That one car that wasn't even the most expensive car was raw dogging everything. No, it just sucks. It just sucks.
That's where we are now.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Can't wait to play Monster Hunter.
They do. They do not give. They don't give that franchise the love and attention that it deserves. How can you go from having a car that's so iconic that a major car brand makes your game in real life, but now you've gotten to the point where you can't even make a game that gets above a 7. A 7 out of 10.
I don't know, man. It's trash and it aggravates me, is what it is.
Just remake Underground 2 and we'll stop talking.
I need original soundtrack and all. Just redo it. Just redo it. That's me.
But yeah, that was a long tangent, but we appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and we will catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.